Next, we have a very special treat. We're going to have someone from Ross University talk to us about Caribbean, going to school in the Caribbean. We actually have two schools that we're going to hear from where we talk about going to school in the Caribbean. A lot of people ask a lot of questions about that, and we have two very excellent schools that are going to be represented here today. And first, we have Mr. David Belliard. I'm going to let him come on and introduce himself and then talk to us.
Hello, everyone. My name is David Belliard, and I'm representing Ross University School of Medicine. And I've been with the university for about 5 years. Started off in the career advising capacity, helping students secure medical residency, helping them navigate the application process, and making sure that their academic profile is aligned with the specialty that they want to pursue. And every year since I've started, our medical residency placement percentage has increased. And as it stands today, we have a 95.2% residency placement for students who apply for residency for the first time cycle. I know that's a lot of stigma around a lot of international medical schools, but we do a pretty good job with helping our students secure opportunities in residency placement. At Ross University, we do focus on diversity, and so I'm so happy that Dr. Jones reached out to me to discuss Ross University and what we do in terms of providing opportunity for underrepresented minorities from a variety of different institutions. But I think what makes us unique is that we're very intentional about what we do here at Ross University, and we do look at the data. We have about 13% of our student population are African American, and 10% of our population is Hispanic students. So we want to be able to increase that student population. So we started our AIM Scholars Program, which is the Access and Inclusion in Medicine program, where we have partnered with top performing HBCUs so that we can be able to bring students in and graduate these students to be able to help improve the health outcomes by creating more doctors so we can be able to have a diverse health workforce that meets the needs of the American population. So, with us being intentional, we know that we can be able to recruit and retain high qualified medical students from our HBCUs and our Hispanic serving institutions. And currently, we have partnerships with HBCUs and HSIs, so Florida A&M University, Charles R. Drew University, Tuskegee University, Baylor University, Oakwood University, and Tennessee State University. And those institutions are specifically targeted because we know that, students going to those schools have a high interest in wanting to become a doctor. And we know that, not everyone gets an opportunity to be accepted into an LCME institution. So we want to be able to make sure that they have options to pursue their MD degree here at Ross University. And also we want to be able to remove any barriers of entry, whether it be financial, any self-efficacy issues, showing them that they can be successful in our program with the resources that we have. So we're very intentional in creating those resources for our students. And also what makes Ross unique as it relates to our institution is that, our students, once they graduate our program, they're eligible to practice medicine in all 50 states. And there's no restrictions in terms of where you can go once you complete our medical program. So our students are able to be successful and pursue those opportunities. And also our curriculum mirrors any LCME standards as it relates to how we deliver our education. But I think what makes us unique is that we interweave our curriculum with preclinical experience. So we like to apply the hands-on learning aspect to our education for our students. We want to be able to make sure that they can apply those things prior to them going into their third and fourth year clinical rotations. We want to make sure that they're competitive, that they're medically sound in terms of the terminology they need to have prior to going into their third and fourth year. So we think it's important for us to apply the preclinical experience. And also we're very intentional about where we place our students for clinical training as well. So our students, so we have about 10 different states where our students can choose where they want to pursue their third and fourth year clinical training. And all of those experiences are hands-on experiences at our affiliated hospitals in the U.S., which are ACGME accredited, so they meet the standards for residency. We think that's important for our students to be able to make sure that they have the required education that will qualify them for a successful residency process. And similar to what our previous presenter was talking about, medical school is competitive. And we know that each year there's more and more applicants that apply to U.S. medical schools, but the numbers of students who get accepted doesn't meet the amount of applications that go in. So what does those students do who are not accepted? Do they continue to pursue their medical career? Do they pursue other careers in healthcare? So we know that we have the capacity to be able to, give those students an opportunity if they trust the educational process that we have in place to make sure that they can reach their goals. And I think by us being intentional with our partnerships will help alleviate the stress of those students waiting 3 or 4 years to pursue a U.S. medical school, and they can just come right in to Ross University and be successful and complete their MD in 4 years and be successful graduates. And we do holistic admissions as well. So, we know that at Ross University, you're more than just your MCAT. So we know that COVID-19 has presented a lot of challenges as it relates to pursuing shadowing experiences, sitting for your MCAT. So we do have a preparatory program here in Miramar, Florida. Well, now it's online due to COVID-19, where if a student doesn't meet our minimum requirements, whether it be for the MCAT, prerequisite GPA, we'll put them in this program to assess their readiness for our medical program. So this program, of course, gives the student a taste of what the curriculum would be like, but at a slower pace. But also we're providing them the tools that we would normally provide them in medical school to see if they can be successful in our medical education program, which is called our MERD program. So if those students are successful and meet the minimum requirements, then we would automatically accept them. So for us, there's multiple ways of entry to pursue our medical school, whether it be directly admitted or through our preparatory program to assess your readiness for our medical school. And also, we still look at your GPA, we still look at your MCAT if you do have an MCAT score, and we look at your volunteering, your professional experience. We know that some students are non-traditional students, and they may be working while pursuing their undergrad degree or graduate degree. So we look at all those things, and the committee makes their final determination at that point. And of course, you still want to be able to make sure that you're doing extremely well in your prerequisites. So we have a minimum of a 3.0 in your sciences, so biology, general chemistry, organic chemistry, physics. So those are the things that we look for, and the committee looks for as it relates to making a decision whether you'll be directly admitted or be admitted into our medical education readiness program, which is our preparatory program. And for students coming from our partnered schools, we do have a streamlined process where we eliminate any fees that they may have with the application, any seat deposits, because we want to be able to be specific with those students to make sure that they have a smooth process in our admissions enrollment process. So at Ross University, you do 4 years here. You don't do any extra years. Your first 2 years are done in Barbados. So, but you can look at this experience as a study abroad experience. So you'll be in Barbados for either 16 months or 20 months. So during that time, you'll be getting your foundations of medicine. So this is where you get the core medical knowledge that you need, your anatomy. You'll learn how to do, your physical examinations. So you'll be able to, have the core foundations that you need to go into your 3rd and 4th year. But during that time, in your first 2 years, you'll get that information, and we'll make sure that you are ready for your USMLE Step 1 exam. And what we have to help our students prepare for that exam is a basic science comprehensive exam. And this exam assesses our students' readiness to sit for the exam. So if our students are not successful in that comp exam, then we, allow them to spend another 1 or 2 more months to prepare for the USMLE exam before they actually sit for it. Because we know that the USMLE exam is extremely crucial for program directors in terms of candidates that they bring in for medical, for residency interviews. So We're very intentional about that. And that's the reason why we have a 96% pass rate on the USMLE exam, because we are assessing our students along the way. And the final assessment allows us to see if the student is actually ready to sit for it. And once a student is successful in the first 2 years, then they come back home to complete their third and fourth year clinical rotations at the affiliated hospitals that we have in our 10 different states that we have affiliated hospitals in. And the student can choose where they want to go, and they can spend their entire third and fourth year at those locations. And once our students get to that point, most of our students really focus on primary care. We are a primary care institution, but we do have some of our students who do focus in their third and fourth year in highly specialized areas, neurology, surgery, anesthesiology. So we do have students who go into these highly competitive areas as well. So during your third and fourth year, you're really figuring out what type of doctor you want to be, and we help our students navigate that process. And in your fourth year is when we begin to help our students prepare for Step 2 CK and CS. And at that time, we continue to assess our students similar to how we assess them in the first 2 years with a comp exam. So with those comprehensive exams, we prepare our students and we assess them to make sure that they're ready to go for their USMLE Step 2 CK and CS exam. So after passing those 2 exams, our students are ready to go, fully eligible to apply for residency. And as I stated earlier, for the 2020 match cycle, we had about 523 students who secured residency, which made our match percentage go up to a 95.2%. So we're very proud of that. And we have about over 15,000 graduates in the field of medicine currently as it stands today due to our successful medical program that we have here at Ross University. And our program is unique because, it's very difficult to find international medical schools who are willing to financially support underrepresented minority students who apply and support them academically and financially. So I think that's what makes Ross University unique because we do have that commitment from our faculty, from our student services, and from our admissions team to make sure that we provide the support the students that come in to be successful academically, mentally, especially if a lot of them have never left the United States or even the area where they went to school. We do believe that it's important for them to have that psychological services. So we do have all those support systems for those students. And at Ross University, we have rolling admissions as well. So we have 3 start dates. So students can start in January, May, September. And there can be 3 decision possibilities depending on what the committee comes back with. We look at, your entire application experiences, whether it be clinical experience, academic experience, research experience, and the committee could directly admit you based on those experiences. If they see there's some red flags in your academics, then they could put you in the medical education readiness program. Or if, they don't see any, academic performance where, you can be successful in our program, then there could potentially be a denial decision being made. But like I said earlier, we do holistic admissions, so it would be very difficult for the university to come to that because we typically funnel our students who are not successful directly admitted into our medical education readiness program. And we've done a great job with students, from all over. But as I stated earlier, I work specifically with the underrepresented minority students at Ross University and creating those pipelines so we can continue to be intentional about how we support those students coming in. So that's me and what I do at Ross University and how we support our students from our partnered institutions.
And Mr. Beliard, you have some beautiful slides here. Did you want to share those slides and briefly go through them? We have a few minutes left, but the slideshow is so nice. You got to put those slides up, and you can go ahead and share your screen if you.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Okay.
As you're putting those up, there's a question from, and we'll bring her up while. Let's see, Ms. Pitts, Latricia, do you want to ask your question? Latricia Pitts,
Yes,
who's
I'm
been on
trying
our
to.
show many times. How are you doing?
Oh, here it is. Yeah.
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Good.
That's good. Yes, I'm here frequently. But I am
Show your
a.
face.
I clicked start the video. It didn't show. Let's see.
No.
It's not showing. It said it can't.
Okay. Oh, because okay. All right.
Um,
We hear your voice.
So I am non-traditional, and I'm currently a licensed psychotherapist, and I have a family. So I'm curious about if the university is family friendly, as well as if the university offers the same financial benefits as U.S. schools. Because I know some of the things I've attended, they said you weren't allowed to qualify for certain financial aid benefits if it's not a U.S. school. So I didn't know how that works in reference to financing a international college.
Absolutely. I think that's a great question. I think what makes us unique is that we're recognized by the U.S. Department of Education. So you can apply for student loans similar to how you would apply for any U.S. undergrad institution or graduate institution. So there's no issues there as it relates to pursuing any financial support. But in addition to that, we do offer scholarships, and we have merit-based scholarships, which can total up to $120,000, which is a little bit over 50% of your tuition here at Ross University. But of course, those scholarships are merit-based scholarships. So depending on how you performed on the MCAT exam, how you performed academically in the prerequisites, your engagement in shadowing experiences, research experiences that you've had. So you can earn all the way up to $8,000 in addition to $19,000 for housing. And the minimum that you can earn is $78,000 with an additional $19,000 of housing benefit as well. And also you can earn additional scholarships. We have alumni connection scholarships that you can earn if you've connected with an alumni and you share that with us. That's additional scholarships that you can earn. If you attended a underrepresented minority type institution, you can also earn scholarships there. So there's a variety of different ways that you can earn financing here to be able to support your studies here at Ross University.
Oh, that's awesome. And then my other thing, the university.
We only got time for one now. Sorry, Latricia.
I'll send you an email.
Okay. And Mr. Belly, I know, so you have these nice slides, but now we're running a little short on time, but run through these real quick and tell them, because this program is very nice. So run through these in about 2 minutes.
Absolutely. So this is my contact information. So if you guys want to take a quick picture of it, if you have any questions about Ross University, student outcomes.
And we'll send that information out to everyone.
Perfect. And this is just a list of the partner institutions that we have and the mission that we have in terms of creating access through inclusion, being intentional about what we do, and to be able to have a strong footprint in the field of medicine as it relates to minority students going into communities that need to have doctors that reflect those communities. So our job is to create those doctors. Well, first of all, recruit those students from these type of institutions and produce them so that they can go back out into those communities. At Ross University, as I stated earlier, we are a recognized institution. So students can go in all 50 states and practice. We have a integrated curriculum, and our clinical experience is extremely hands-on. Our students are able to take the lead and being shadowed by the preceptor. So that way our students are able to, learn from what they are doing well and get that feedback and continue to improve. So we truly believe in that. And our residency success is phenomenal in terms of where we are now and where we started. So I think that's entirely to what we're doing. And then of course we're an opportunity. So as you can see the data here, each year the number of applicants go up, but the number of students who are accepted and matriculated into U.S. medical schools are way lower. And we know that those students are either may continue to pursue their dreams or pursue other opportunities, or they may not even know about an international medical school where they can continue to pursue their MD degree. So, how do we get in contact with those students? How do we continue to expose them to institutions like Ross University. So it's important for us to continue to have this type of conversation. And then, of course, you're more than just your MCAT. So just making sure that you are meeting the standards in terms of showing your passion and why you want to become a doctor. And of course, academics is important. So we do consider and look at your GPA and MCAT and other qualities that make you a good student here at Ross University, because we're looking for someone who has persevered or who has been through some things. Because Ross University, will challenge you, whether you being away from your family and having to navigate your academics in a different country with limited resources. So those are the type of stories we'll like to see. And whether you've had some challenging academic situations, how did you overcome that? So those are the things that we like to see.
Got about 45 more seconds, and we'll be able to have some more questions in a little bit.
Absolutely. And then we have our prerequisite courses that you must meet. So it's a quick snapshot. And this is a timeline for students who start our medical education. So this is what it looks like your first 2 years in Barbados, third and fourth year in clinical rotations, medical degree earned, residency placement. And then these are some of the benefits that students receive from our partnered schools. We fly them out, MCAT waiver, MERP tuition, MERP tuition scholarship, first semester housing, first semester scholarship, and then the types of decisions that you can receive. And our alumni from our partnered schools, Florida A&M and University of Puerto Rico. And my contact information here again. Thank you so much. And
we're going to send this presentation out to all of our guests today. So thank you very much. And I reached out to Mr. Belliard at last minute, and he was gracious enough to come on, and he's got some great information, and it sounds like a great opportunity. Absolutely. So you're part of the family now, Pre-Med Solutions family.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right.